Good evening, YouTube. This is Random Rant 112-117. This is going to be about chicks with kids. Alright, I got to speak from a single male perspective. I got to speak from a black perspective. I don't know how, matter of fact, I think it doesn't even matter if you're black or white. Today, if like you're around 28, like I'm around 28, even around that range, you probably have some kids. Now, when I'm dating, one kid is something I can deal with and I'm not looking for it, and everybody knows the reasons. Like, you know, you always have to put up with a whole lot more from a chick with a kid. It's hard to just concentrate on her. You have to worry about you and the fact that you can't chill because you have to find a babysitter, or you don't have this money to go and do what we like to do because you have a kid and something happened in the kid's life, and that's cool and that's life. But to deal with that when there are just so many other options, and those options being with chicks without kids, but it's like, wow, where y'all at? Y'all are like the new hot commodity. You know, brothers will take a hit on a chick with broke, living in the ghetto with no kids, rather than like, you're doing all right and you got a kid. Well, you know, at least I would. Fuck it, that's just how I'm rolling. And then usually what happens, like when you're 28, you probably came out of like a marriage, or sometimes that's what I get, and you probably got like 2 kids, maybe 3 kids, and now that's like a horse of a whole nother color, man. I hate to be the one to break this to you, but that's some hard time, that's some hard living, man. That's some hard just swallowing that load, because that's like a ready-made family, for the lack of a better term. And who wants to step into that shit? I mean, honestly, from a guy perspective, nobody wants that shit. You know, and it's hard to take the kids out of the equation and just push yourself, because that's just what a relationship is. You know, a man and woman trying to grow, learn, and love together. But now I gotta grow and love both your kids. And what if they talking smart? What if you got some badasses that you don't want to admit that they badasses? It's only in your mind that you just doing mental gymnastics with, that they good, cool kids. When they ain't, they bad. Them motherfuckers is evil. You got a whole lot of problems in your kid's life. He keep beating people up. He keep beating other kids up. He keep writing on the walls. He's spoiled. No brother want to deal with that. Matter of fact, no white cat want to deal with that, or Arabian or Chinese, or any male that I've ever encountered want a prepackaged family. All you have to do is insert male and male's income. That sucks. And I gotta give a shout out to this dude named Reginald, or the Dem Cat on YouTube, because he had a great point, and it really made me think. And I have to pose this question to you guys out there, because he posed it to me, and I really couldn't give a great reason. But the question is, what are a male's advantage to getting married? And he posed a good point. It's like, what, if it's sex? I can get sex. If it's companionship, yeah, I can get companionship. You know, I'm glad we live in the internet age where, you know, it's just, shoot, just a MySpace page away if it gets gully like that, if I don't meet you in a bar somewhere. But is it the fear of dying alone? Well, is that what it ultimately is for everybody, the fear of dying alone? I hope not. So I'm going to ask the same question to y'all. What are great reasons for males to get married? That's a stumper. Especially if the male is doing alright. And he also made a good point. I got to reiterate this. He said, like, let's say there are 2 guys. One's married making $100,000, and one is single making $80,000. And let's say the wife of the $100,000 maker makes $40,000, which is completely realistic. So they now have a combined income of $140,000. But wait, you have to divide that by 2, since we're talking about 2 people's income. And you have to probably divide that by a whole lot, well, a little bit more, considering that you might have kids. So you have to also split that income maybe 3 ways, and buy a whole lot of other stuff that the single man just not going to buy. So the single man stands strong at $80,000 income, yet the married man is now making $70,000 minus expenses for the children. and a whole lot of the stuff that married people get that single people just don't care about, like your living room sets. I mean, from a dude's perspective, you've been in a single man's house. It's not decked down to the bone with the feng shui mirrors and reeds and rock fountains. You got a crate and a chair and a bed and some cable with a big ass TV. Basics. So that's a good point, and I have to reiterate that as well. So once again, give me your input on this subject, man. I will catch y'all later, and this has been Ranting and Raving with the Surreal Wonder. Holla.